Let's talk though about these questions that people can ask themselves. You know, I think for the first time, there are a lot of people that are having to face themselves and they're feeling uncomfortable about that because it can be fearful and overwhelming. Michelle, what question would you suggest, or questions would you suggest that people ask themselves at this time?
Yeah, I think that one of the most important questions we have to ask ourselves is what we're holding on to. You know, where we need to let go, what our expectations are. There's a lot of kind of surrendering, I think, that needs to happen right now, where we're being forced to stay home, we're being forced to stop, where, you know, people that are like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. That should. We need to really look at that should. This is something I talk to my clients a lot about, is that I don't believe in fate. I only believe in destiny. So fate are, you know, things that happen to us. There are things that will happen to us. But destiny is our choices, how we choose to react or how we choose to respond. So to really kind of, if you're holding on to something that you expected, like, oh, I was supposed to go on that trip. Well, now you can't. So you can sit there and you can dwell on that, or you can just decide to be flexible and go with it. And like I said, this is a difficult practice. You know, there are a lot of ancient world traditions that have practices that are designed to kind of let you be in that space of just letting go. It's nothing that, you know, throw it all out the window. And those are the happy people, right? The people who don't have any expectations. Like, I don't know what's going to happen today, to really try to kind of find that, you know, the things you're holding on to, and just learn to let them go just for now.
Oh, that's really good. I'm glad you brought that up. Isa, are there certain questions that you know, are asking yourself, or that you tell your clients to ask themselves?
Yeah, I just got actually a text message this morning from one of my groups that I'm involved in with one of my classes, and one of them said, I'm losing it. Can anybody help me? And in the midst of chaos, in the midst of confusion and uncertainty, ask yourself, what are the blessings, so that we can stay in a higher vibration, so that we cannot succumb to this lower vibration energy that's out there, which is fear, which is normal. And to ask yourself, what is it you're learning from this? Because there is always a lesson somewhere in how you cope and how you can get through it.
That's good. And Allison, what about you?
So for me, other than how you're showing up, are you proud of how you're showing up? I always say to my clients within the past few days, how do you feel? Is there fear in this today? What are you afraid of losing? Is it something material? Is it your health? What's going on? Where is this coming from? The mind is an extremely, extremely powerful thing. So that mind-body connection, if you get in your mind, it will impact the body and you'll start to feel it physically. So those are just a few questions that I ask myself every day. I ask my family every day, and I ask it of my clients.
Anna, what questions would you suggest people ask themselves right now?
Like in the same vein as what Lisa was talking about, of just like asking yourself, how does this situation benefit me? How does this feeling benefit me? There's always two sides of a coin. So can you flip the coin over and find, how is this benefiting me? And also to look at gratitude. I have been doing daily gratitude practices as well. So asking yourself, what is one thing that you can be grateful for in the present moment? Something that you can be grateful for inside yourself, that you value about yourself. Something you can be grateful for that is just like here in front of you right now, because the anxiety and the fear come when we're thinking about the past, what has happened or what's gonna happen. But when we're really just like right here, right now, can you ask yourself, like, am I okay right now? Like in this moment, in this breath, am I okay? And then if you can get there, and then just start like gratitude, what's beneficial, and kind of go down that'll help lift your vibration, get it circling, spinning back upward instead of,
which we need to do right now. That's for sure. Karen, what question do you think that people could be asking themselves right now?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I mean, there are people out there right now who are losing their jobs and who are so worried about their loved ones, and might have a lot of anger and a lot of frustration, and why universe is this happening to me? If I look back on my life, even the worst experiences of my life. I look back on them now and I know that I actually signed up for those, and there were things that they were really there to teach me. And if you can take a step back out of the emotion and the stress and the worry for a moment and just ask, what am I supposed to learn? Or what is this trying to teach me? What is the message that I need to hear right now? I think that can take a little of that stress and anger away.
I know we've talked about this before in our own meetings, but I think it's also because people have time. If they can make the time to actually look at the milestones in their life and kind of look back at what they've been through, then they can, first of all, they'll probably realize that they've actually survived a lot, right? And that there is some sort of path. And I think that if people can take that time and do that, and I know you have a whole term for that, which is life mapping, right? And go within, as we've all talked about. That to me is where they can really see the pattern, and then they can make some new plans. Because I think it's about dreaming into, if you can get past the fear, which I think you're all being very helpful in helping people face the fear, right? Let's let go of the fear and dream into what we want. Like, you know, there's that question of, you know, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do tomorrow, right? And I think people should be asking themselves that. And I think some people are going to be kind of at a really low point, right? They may be really scared because they don't know where the money is going to come. And sometimes that's where our biggest blessings come from. I think, Lisa, you said that last time, right? The messiest times are our biggest blessings. And so there may be, when you have nothing else to lose, what would you do? And I think if you can start to dream into that, then there's something extremely positive that can come from this really chaotic and scary time.
Absolutely.
And Stevie, what questions would you suggest people ask? I know you just brought up a few when we were talking about coping. Is there anything else that you think people can really kind of go within and ask?
Yeah, I think, like you were saying, it's just such an introspective time. And what we have, like even astrologically, is like we're being forced to build a different inner foundation for ourselves. I did a journal prompt the other day, which for the Aries new moon, which was I am. Like everyone is so many things, you know? And just like making this huge list, you realize like, oh, I wear so many hats. I can do so much. I'm so strong. All of these things that we're capable of. So the I am, I think, is a really good question, because then it can really help you understand, like, what do I even want from my life? Because we're being forced to think about that. What kind of life do you want? And the life that you had is not ever going to be the same for anybody. So what do you want moving forward? We have this opportunity right now to like look at that.
And Stevie, just to add to that really quickly, like that question about Robyn and I ask each other all the time about purpose. What is my purpose? My mom shared with me just last night, because she's been listening to this, about how even she, as a almost 80-year-old woman, is wondering if she has fulfilled her purpose. And so she's taking the time to look back on her life a little bit too, and look at those key milestones and what she has learned from them. So I think those questions, hard as they are to ask, are really powerful right now, because we have the real time to look at them.
Well, and I want to share this quote too that I love, that's really about this, which is, it's by Erin Hansen, and it's, what if I fall? And then it goes, oh, but my darling, what if you fly? I think about that all the time, right? Because it's leaning into our potential, right? So I think you have to start, use this time to start believing in yourself. And I know that that's difficult for a lot of people, but I think there is a reason this is happening right now to you, right? And then to all of us collectively. And so it's really important. And I also think there's a reason we're all talking to one another and putting this out there in the world, because I hope that people can also start to get curious about seeking something that they can't see, right? Have an intuitive reading, have a past life regression, because there's so much that can come out of that. If you really are lost and you're not sure why you are really here, you can start to get some answers that come from, they're actually within you, but you just can't see them. All of these incredible and magical people that we're talking to today they can help you bring that out of yourself. Wouldn't you all agree?
For sure.